Playing music and sharing food is one of the traditional ways the dead are remembered in Ecuador. We visited several places in this beautiful country to live the traditional Day of the Deceased. Places like Otavalo, where the cemetery of the mestizos and the indigenous is divided by a wall, and each side celebrates this day in a different way. Hey travelers, we're in Ecuador. We're here to celebrate the Day of the Deceased, Día de los Difuntos. They call it Día de los Difuntos here, not Day of the Dead like they do in many other Latin American countries. So we're in Otavalo. This is one of the most symbolic cities where this is celebrated. But we found out that in a town close by called Cotacachi, they're doing something special tonight. So we're heading there. Are you ready for the cemetery?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, cool. We're here in the Otavalo terminal, and we're gonna take a bus to Cotacachi. It's that one over there that's gonna take us. Let's go. We're here in Cotacachi. The journey here took around 25 minutes from Otavalo. We're in the central plaza. This town is known as a magic town. It's very beautiful. I would like to come during the day, maybe later. And we have confirmation that tonight they're doing a serenade at the cemetery. That's gonna start a little later. But now we're in the plaza, and here's the church. It looks amazing, so we're gonna go in. We are going into the cemetery now. More people are coming. They're bringing flowers, things to decorate the graves of the deceased, their family members, their loved ones. It just opened, so it's starting. We'll see how it turns out later at night. What do you think of this? It's the first time you're at a cemetery at night, right?
Yeah, it's my first time. It's very interesting. The place, so cute, and the people, traditions, very nice all.
More people are coming, and it's very emotional to see them gather around their loved one's grave, the ones that passed away. We were able to talk to some of them, and they tell us why it's important to come tonight.
Mi papá falleció hace un año y unos pocos días. Y cuando vengo a verle, a conversar con él, porque aunque haya sido ya mayorcito, era un gran hombre, un ser humano, una persona humilde, pero un gran padre.
Estamos acá para recordar el fallecimiento, ya 30 años de mi mamá, y recién apenas un mes y unos cuantos días de mi señor padre.
In this part of the cemetery, you can notice that there is no paved streets. It's mostly earth. And here, the tradition is different because people bring food and drinks that the loved one like when they were living.
Aquí estamos poniendo las florecitas a mi hijo, a mi hijito, angelitos son. Sí, venimos a poner flores y siempre tenemos la costumbre de tomar la agüita.
Gracias, muchas gracias. Vamos a acompañarlos. We're here with the Lema Cáceres family. They invite us over to see their traditions. They're doing the Huaychacaray, which is a gathering to have food that the deceased like. In this case, a family member that died in the 80s, a child, but they still come in every year. He liked carrot cake, so they're giving us carrot cake. We're having wheat bread and some coffee.
Pienso que él está parado, aquícito, o por allí, a lo mejor está sentada al lado de mi mamá, pero ya en adulto. No le vemos, pero yo pienso que se siente contento ahora. Yo me voy contenta, alegre me voy, como que estoy con mi hijo.
The Lema Cáceres family have invited us to their home to see the continuation of the traditions after the cemetery.
Nosotros, los pueblos indígenas, acostumbramos a poner una noche vísperas para el Día de los Difuntos, poner el responso. Consiste en frutas, así nombrando a cada difunto de la familia. Ajá. Eso le hacemos una noche antes, en víspera, para el 2 de noviembre, por Día de los Difuntos.
Mamita Carmen Morán, mi suegro José Manuel Lema, Rosa Conejo, Lorenzo Jatuco.
Como estamos nombrando, están aquí, dicen la casa. Nosotros no lo vemos, pero están aquí dando, están caminando. Están ahorita fuera digamos, sus almitas están fuera de sus tumbas, porque ya mañana es el día de ellos.
Por mi angelito José Luis Isidro Blanquita. Ya. Esto es para mi papá José Rafael Cáceres.
Todos estos huevos es de cada almita, ¿no? De cada almita, y esto se queda velando toda la noche y mañana en la mañana esto se cocinará. Cocinando esto, pues ya se lleva al cementerio para hacer rezar, porque hay que rezar para comer. Aquí donde están las almitas, ¿no? Aquí están ellos. Nosotros no les vemos, pero siempre mamá en esta noche de responso le nombra, y pienso que es como que se le invoca para que ellos se levanten y nos acompañen, ¿no?
We're now leaving Cotacachi, but keep in mind that buses and taxis stop working at around 8 p.m. It's now 11 p.m., so we couldn't get away to get to Otavalo, but the family is doing us a favor to take us there. So keep that in mind. Another day in Otavalo. It's already Day of the Deceased, November 2nd, and we're in the cemetery. It just opened at 7 a.m. It's 7 a.m. People are just getting here right now. It just opened. And one interesting thing here is that there's two cemeteries in one. They're united. We are in the mestizo cemetery. This is the mixed race cemetery of people that have more European blood. And there's also in the back the indigenous cemetery. The cemetery is for people of native origins. You could say that this is discriminatory, but it's part of culture. There's always been discrimination in Latin America, and this is a staple of that. Here's Carlo today.
Hola.
Hello. And as you can see, the commerce is already starting. People are getting ready to sell fruits, flowers, things that people can put on the graves of their loved ones. And we're first going to the cemetery of the indigenous because we're gonna meet with Blanca, who we met yesterday, and she's bringing flowers for her grandmother. Blanca visits the cemetery along with her son before heading to work. She goes directly to the grave of her grandma, whom the night before was remembered at her mother's house. She brings the guava bread to commemorate people who aren't in this world anymore.
Angelito Isidro.
In the cemetery, there is men wearing white who are called angels. Blanca uses the help of one to reach her deceased, but also to protect the ones who are still alive. This is done with money.
Yo hago rezar las moneditas por mis hijitos, porque también se puede hacer rezar por los vivos, para que les vaya bien en el trabajito, en la salud. Entonces yo hago rezar las moneditas también.
After the ritual, women who accompany the ángeles take the offerings. They say that through them, the deceased are able to enjoy what was brought to them. Now Blanca is going to the grave of her cousin, who was the same age as her son. Inti died less than a year ago in an accident.
Era como un hijo para mí, porque se llevaba muy bien con mi hijo, entonces ya va a ser un año el próximo mes, ¿no? Entonces a él le gustaba tomar la cerveza. Bueno, pero él ya está en el cielo y siempre le pedimos y le pido de que le cuide mucho a mi hijo, ¿no? Porque son la misma edad y todo eso, y que le ayude a seguir adelante a mi hijo en los planes que él tiene en su trabajo, ¿no? Eso es lo que pido, ¿no? Y pienso que sí protege, ¿no? Sí está con él. Mi hijo fue el más afectado de todo eso.
Entonces eso, y bueno, pues aquí es donde ya dejamos las bolsitas, las frutitas y todo eso, entonces ya nos vamos nosotros al trabajo.
The people keep traditions. It's very, very interesting.
People are coming, it's still early, it's 8 a.m. Now we're going to Cotacachi because they told us that over there the celebration is more traditional. Later on today, we'll come back here. Ya estamos en el cementerio de Cotacachi, ya está empezando a llegar mucha gente para conmemorar a sus seres queridos. Estamos en la parte donde tradicionalmente se les entierra a los mestizos que no tienen tradiciones muy grandes de traer comida y bebidas, como es en la parte donde están enterrados los descendientes de indígenas. Así que vamos para ese lado para ver cómo está. The tradition is that the food that they give to the deceased later, after it's blessed, the people eat it. So it's tradition to give food to everyone that's passing by. They just gave us this plate of potatoes and corn and banana. Mmm, qué rico la papa.
Un de parte de la familia.
Vega.
Vega.
En nuestro pensar pensamos que algún instante nuevamente nos vamos a reencontrar con ellos. Y de eso, en agradecimiento para que ellos también estén felices en el más allá, hacemos toda la preparación de la comida y venimos toda la familia a comer acá. Entonces, más que solamente hacer la comida es comer con ellos, con los espíritus, con los antepasados, con nuestros hijos, con nuestras familias.
Nos han invitado un poco de comida. Ahí. ¿Qué es eso?
Habas.
Habas. A ver, vamos a probar la papa. Está rica.
Venimos recordando porque tenemos triste, la pena, así, venimos así, la vida es así, costumbre.
Gracias. A ver, prueba tu raspadilla. ¿Qué tal? Try. ¿Está rico?
Sí, rico. Sabe una raspadilla que venían por mi casa, por eso moría de ganas por probar una, porque intuía que el sabor era parecido y ese es me trae recuerdos.
I'm gonna try a coconut drink. It's 50 cents. Deme uno, por favor. Muchas gracias. A ver, vamos a probar este jugo de coco. A ver.
Delicious.
Delicioso. We're back in the cemetery, but something's happening. This year, the president or the government of President Lasso decided that they will change the holiday from the 2nd, November 2nd. It's a Catholic holiday, but they're changing it from today to tomorrow. Today, kids are going to school, people are going to work. That's why there's not as many people in the cemetery. So tomorrow, the anticipation is that it will be like the 2nd in previous years. We'll come back tomorrow, but it's so weird that they changed a Catholic holiday. Who knows? This is the result of changing the holiday from the 2nd to the 3rd. A lot more people today because they play with the Catholic traditions. It's kind of like changing Christmas to another day. Weird. But let's go visit the Mestizo cemetery first. Mestizo means mixed race. European blood and indigenous blood. Let's go. We've noticed that this cemetery, the Mestizo cemetery, it's kind of like any other cemetery in the world. People come with flowers, they clean the graves, they stay with their loved ones for a little bit, but they leave. The difference with this cemetery and the one in the back, the indigenous cemetery, is very big. They're even divided by a big wall. The other cemetery has another entrance too. In the other cemetery, we noticed that people bring food and drinks and gather for a long time.
Allá, la parte de arriba es el cementerio de los indígenas. Ellos normalmente, ¿qué es lo que hacen? Ellos se acercan con comida, hacen un ritual, rezan, comparten la comida. La ideología de ellos es que la comida le dejan para el muertito. para que él igual se sirva sus alimentos.
En cambio acá nosotros los mestizos acostumbramos es a limpiar, a poner flores, a arreglar, si es que es de pintar, pintamos, estamos un momento y nos vamos. Entonces sí hay una diferencia grande entre las dos, pero respetamos, ¿no? Vivimos aquí en una misma ciudad, pero entre nosotros nos respetamos, somos diferentes, pero también a la vez compartimos con ellos otras costumbres.
Vamos para allá. During this celebration, they also sell a lot of typical things like the bread. This is guava bread, and it has a kid, it has like a horse, very traditional. I bought a guava bread, a little one, to try. Pensé que iba a ser dulce.
Vamos a decapitar la guagua.
Es un pan duro, ¿no?
Es un pan bien duro.
We've also noticed that they sell a lot of fried fish.
Es un pescadito de costa que le traemos, o la tilapia.
We just came into the indigenous cemetery and you can notice the difference. There's a lot of people. It's even hard to walk sometimes. Let's see what we find.
Nosotros los indígenas, o sea, siempre tenemos, en cualquier cosa tenemos una tradición, ¿no? Que no se pierde. En cambio, en los mestizos, o sea, mejor dicho, ellos, la costumbre creo de ellos, no sé mucho, pero dejan el ramo de flores, claro, y se van. En cambio, nosotros no, nosotros esperamos que vengan, yo que sé, alguien, vienen, nos regalan, nos intercambiamos la comida, entonces, y vamos comiendo acá. Por ejemplo, esta es la colada morada, la tradición que lo hacen, ¿no? El Día de los Difuntos, esto es el guagua que se le hace, ¿no? Entonces, siempre es todos los años que se celebra o se come en ocasiones especiales. Muy rara vez que la familia se reúne. Tome para que usted lo pruebe.
Muchas gracias.
Es
la tradición de compartir,
sí.
¿no? We have the purple colada and the little baby bread that they invited us. Let's try it. Delicious. It's very refreshing. It has pineapple, it has purple corn. It's very similar to what they have in Peru. It's called mazamorra morada. Very similar.
Muy rica.
¿A qué sabe?
Muy rica.
¿Te recuerda algo? ¿Tú que eres de Perú?
Un porcentaje me recuerda lo que es la chicha jora de allá. Solo la base, pero después cuando ya sientes un toque más profundo del sabor, tiene lo que es la mazamorrita morada, pues de allá, ¿no? De Perú.
It's been a long time since I wanted to come to Otavalo. For the ones that follow me, you know that I love traditions, especially cultural celebrations. So this was a must in my list. What do you think, Carlo?
Well, so the tradition is very important for the persons in Otavalo city. So coming to
Otavalo. Let's go get something to eat now. We are now going to Quito to continue with the Day of the Deceased celebrations over there. We went to the bus terminal, the Otavalo bus terminal, and jumped on the first bus that was going to Quito. We're now in Quito and we're heading to the historic center for the Más Allá de la Vida, an event about the Day of the Deceased. We had a good sleep in the bus, right?
Yeah, it's satisfactory. Satisfactory.
Yes, indeed. We're in Quito already, and we're in the La Ronda neighborhood, you could say. They're doing an event of Day of the Deceased here. It's a more contemporary event, but it looks very interesting. Let's see what they have. I was flying the drone, and we got a rainfall really bad. I thought I was gonna lose the drone, but this drone is a warrior, not the first time. Choppy. I lost the signal for a little bit, but then he came back. So people are taking cover because of the rain. Let's see how long it takes. The event was about to start, but now it's on standby. You never know in Quito, it rains a lot here.
Venga, venga, bienvenido, pase, bienvenido.
The rain stopped, and now people are coming out of their hiding places, and the festivities are gonna start.
Devuélveme mis trinos y mi cuzum. La mismísima mano del diablo.
In this fair, you're gonna find a lot of people, of course, food, drinks, but also altars along the way where people would put their things for the deceased, things that they liked in life, but especially also the pan de guava.
Here you have one of the most antique traditions of Ecuador. Here in Quito you are going to find this little bread called Guagua de pan. So you have this tradition here for millennia almost, because you will notice here that all the Aborigines used to eat this bread just next to the dead people. So this is a really Ecuadorian tradition. So I think it's one of the most interesting things that we have here in the city and in the country.
And it was filled with squash, right?
Yeah.
And now with many things.
Yeah, and of course you have guaguas de pan of Nutella, you have guaguas de pan of manjar or some other flavors. Yeah, and well, you have also an empty guagua de pan. You can discover that you have many types of this kind of bread.
Gracias. A lot of people are selling food. It's the Colada Morada festival. The Colada Morada here, it's a typical drink of Ecuador, and it's very popular during the Day of the Deceased. So I got one, and it's amazing. One of my favorite things here in Ecuador so far. Living this experience of the Day of the Deceased here in Ecuador was amazing. We learned so much, and if you want to know more about this celebration, please visit www.delatamtraveler.com/Day of the Deceased Ecuador. Also put in the comments what you like the most, and maybe if we missed something. I'll see you in the next video.